When it comes to goats, there's a lot of varieties to choose from, but I chose Pygmies, and today I want to go over why I enjoy them so much. Henry is so angry. What the... Quick side note, the problem with goats is they like break everything. Look at this. This is their hay feeder, all drilled onto here, all very nicely, look, just destroyed by this fool just headbutting it, like that. Anyway, I was first introduced to keeping goats about 4.5 years ago, and there was a couple of YouTube videos that kind of stand out to me, but this one by Armstrong Homestead is kind of the main one.
This guy's frustrating right here. Watch this.
Now, I don't know why a video of a goat headbutting things and breaking things. Oh, Oscar. Whoa. Oscar. Oh, Oscar, you okay? Look at him. Look at him. Now, I don't know why a video of a goat headbutting things really made me want to get goats, but from then on in, I was completely obsessed. Completely obsessed. And then about 2.5 years ago, I had the opportunity to get the land where my goats are now, and that's when I got my first goats. The problem we're having today, I think, is caused by Maya, because she's in heat again. And this makes Henry go crazy, Oscar gets very angry because Henry's angry, and yeah, this just happened. But it's nice and simple. It's literally just this pallet chopped up, and I took the baskets out so they're not going to hurt themselves, and I'll move this and fix this up later. Maya, yeah, what's up, Maya? And then Phoebe. Right, this hay feed is normally pretty good, and they've never broken it before, but we're gonna have to fix it. So when I was deciding on what goat breed I actually wanted to get, these were the two options, because they were easy to come by and also small, because I wanted to start off with something small and easy rather than a big meat goat, which is kind of really what I wanted. So we had the Pygmy goat or the dwarf Nigerian goat. They're both very small, very good. That's kind of what I wanted. They both have a lot of personality, which obviously again is what I want, because I don't want a boring pet that will just sit in the field and do nothing. But this is the big game changer. However, Pygmy goats are for meat production. However, dwarf Nigerian goats are more of a dairy goat. Now, this is what changed the game. Henry. The problem is I don't have the drill to take this screw out, and then he's never this crazy. Oh, don't bite me. He's angry today. So when April 2021 rolled around, I'd got this land for rent. We'd put up the fencing, but I needed goats. So to start off, we've got Henry. He's a Pygmy weather goat. He's not really fully Pygmy because he's humongous. He's actually just huge. And then we also got Oscar at the same time. They're not brothers, but they're like 6 days apart. And I think they're the same dad, because you can kind of see Oscar's very brown around there, and then Henry's very brown around the back as well. But apart from today, when Henry's breaking everything, he's the most lovely goat ever. Honestly, he's incredible. Look at him. Look at his face. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. Now, I don't know how I got so lucky with Henry, because he's so incredible, right? He just wants to be with you all the time, and that can be a bit painful, but generally he's just there all the time, wants to hug, wants to play, and he's just very friendly. He doesn't bite or headbutt too much. Problem when there's like food involved. Look at him. He's so lovely. Now, that same thing doesn't really apply for Oscar. Oscar's still very lovely, but the problem with Oscar, he's a bit more, he likes his own space a bit more. He likes to just be off on his own. But he's not the best at being stroked. He's very good at being handled, and he's friendly. He doesn't headbutt too much. This guy is the only real headbutter. Now, when I started off with Oscar and Henry, I made a lot of mistakes, mainly focusing in on the shed and their fencing. I also wasn't really feeding them the best food, but it kind of all worked out for the best, because it kind of helped me learn how to care for my goats better. Now, this was their first original shed, and it's not incredible. This is just here because as they walk on here a lot, it gets really muddy and horrible. But this was their first shed, and it worked quite well for some small goats. But Henry and Oscar, way too big, and when I have Phoebe and Maya, obviously I need that shed as well. But I started off with chicken wire for goats, and to be completely honest, as you can see here, there's a massive hole there. The goats just go straight through. And like I was saying before, Henry's not a pure full Pygmy goat because he's way too big. And that's kind of my main issue with Henry. He can just jump straight over this, right? So it's not very helpful. But over the next 18 months from then, I made a lot of improvements. We've got the big shed, obviously you've seen over there. Got the climbing frame, and then we also went for some electric fencing because it was like the cheapest option to do this field. You can really see how much bigger he is than Maya when they're stood up here together. Anyway, after those 18 months, I was in a position where I knew how to care for my goats well. He's grumpy. So I decided Phoebe and Maya. They're really cool. They're friendly, very friendly. Maya's very lovely as well. Look at that face. She's cool. And I really like them because they're pure Pygmy goats, but they're also very small. They're very lovely and small. But I bought them with the purpose of breeding them, and that's what we're going to be doing in the next pretty much month. The billy goat is coming like 3 weeks, so if you're excited to see that, subscribe. And we're also trying to get to the goal of 2,000 by the end of the year, so any subscription is greatly appreciated. Maya, don't eat that, don't eat that. No, don't. They like eating bird poo. That's so disgusting. So disgusting. Anyway, Maya is incredible. She's a lot more friendly than Phoebe, but she's never going to be, I don't think she's ever going to be as good as Henry, but she's pretty good. You know, she's always there, she's always very happy, and just kind of wants to be with you, but she's also very good at screaming and being loud. And then Phoebe is probably the worst of my goats. Not like looks or whatever, like actual goat. She's a really good actual goat, but friendly wise, she doesn't like being stroked all the time, and she kind of just is very much her own goat, but she's very lovely. Now I have just gone over all the quick like benefits to my goats, and they're not all 100% perfect. As you've seen, Henry's just destroyed the hay feeder. And they do other things that are just a bit annoying, but we're kind of working to improve those and get around them. But as a whole, I'm pretty happy with how they're doing at the moment, and that's why we're breeding them in the next sort of few weeks, and then they'll have kids mid to late April next year, which will be really exciting. Why do I like Pygmy goats as much as I do? Well, I think one of my favorite things is they have so much personality. As you can see, Henry's just crazy. Henry's so great. But I also like how they're kind of small, but they're a bit more bulky. They're really fluffy. And yeah, no, they're just cool, they're fun. They kind of just eat anything. Obviously, they can't eat everything, but I can come out here with apples and lettuce and all sorts of different things, and I'll just enjoy eating them and being very happy. Whoa, my, don't run away. Now, I do say they are relatively easy to look after. Obviously, they are goats, they're like bigger animals, so they do have their needs. But generally, because they're smaller, they like eat less food, they need less space, and they're kind of a bit more affordable, and I also really enjoy them for that. But this year, they've definitely like tested me. I've learned a lot more than I normally would have in a year, kind of with the goats, more focusing on like parasites and medication and treating them for that sort of thing. But I think that's also really important. Now, I do like them though, because they're kind of just, they're random, you know. Not many people have goats, at least in my area, and they're fun, they're cool, but I really like, obviously, like I said, their personalities, but they just run around, they're just living a world of their own, but they're like fun. They don't just stand in the field, go around, eat grass. They like want to be with you and play with you and do all sorts of random things, but it just makes them fun. What I'm trying to say is they actually like do something, and they're exciting because of that. Just quickly at the end, I do have a couple of like future plans for the goats. Now I want to briefly go over those, but you may know we're getting in the new field here, and the full like hedge line is gone now, which is great, so we can actually start getting the new field ready for the billy goat, which is coming in like 3 weeks, which is really great. So that's coming along, that's really awesome. Subscribe if you want to keep up to date with that, and there is also a couple of like update videos on that on the channel already. I did just quickly want to update you on the hay feeder quickly, because it's never been like this before, but it's now finally fixed. And all I've done is just the same thing. I've secured it up here because the goats have never broken it before, but I've just connected it up here. It's still a bit loose actually, but for now it'll do. It'll do the job. Oscar? Oscar! Ah, look at that beard.